Disclaimer: this video is for educational and security research purposes only. Testing was done on a dedicated laptop isolated from my main network via mobile hotspot with internet access intentionally left on so each sample could run to its full behavior. This laptop is not used for personal accounts or sensitive data and will be wiped after testing. This is not a safe setup to replicate casually. Running live malware with internet access on real hardware can lead to data theft, system damage, or it spreading to other devices. Don't attempt this without proper precautions, and never deploy malware against systems you don't own or have explicit permission to test. Welcome to the second publicly available long-form video on my channel. Today we'll be testing real malware against Linux, as I said. But a while ago I made a YouTube short, doing the same thing we're doing today, although I quickly became a target of hate. But my subscribers know that I leave out lots of details on my YouTube shorts, and now you know as well. Oh, and can we appreciate everyone who subscribed? I mean, my videos are super mid, and I still film in 1080p, and 7,500 of you decided to watch my content, so thank you. Anyways, today's victim is this old Dell Inspiron 13, but first I need to pick a Linux distro for it. So here I got the top 4 Linux distros of 2026, and what we'll do is, well, spin the wheel. And love it or hate it, looks like we're doing Linux Mint. Alright, I got the laptop here, and I do apologize for this awkward reflection. I won't be leaving it like this. But hey, watch this. Epic, I know. Anyways, Linux Mint is installed on this sucker, but I do have some things to say before we begin. I'd say majority of malware for Linux is made for server variants of the kernel, not cool graphical desktop variants like this one. Knowing this, I don't really expect malware we find today to execute properly on Mint at all. However, I will do my best to pick out malware that is most likely to work, meaning I will look out for malware compatible with my CPU architecture with known Linux executables. I will also give malware a fair chance at doing what it wants by connecting this laptop to the internet. Obviously not through my network, guys. But let's get to it. So this is the malware bazaar, I guess. This is a place where people upload real samples of malware, and we can see that there are a bunch of options to choose from, but only if you have a good chance of working. I also need to make this entertaining, so I won't be touching malware that lets attackers take control of my system because we could be waiting days before anyone actually does something. So let's start with these 3 options. Lockbit. This sucker is tagged as ransomware, meaning we should see some encryption going on. Cryptojacker, or should I say cryptobaiter. Alright, that wasn't funny. Anyways, not a lot of people are familiar with this type of malware. Its purpose is to mine crypto using your hardware without you knowing. Hopefully works, and we should see this laptop running slower while it's mining somebody's crypto. The third option is No Escape. As the comment says here, this is a Linux version of the popular No Escape virus. Anyways, I'm sorry I couldn't find anything cooler. Malware isn't, how do I put it, isn't that popular on Linux, so these are the best options I could find. But let's see if these actually harm our Linux Mint system. Now, malware can get on an operating system in multiple ways. For today, a simple USB loader with the samples I picked out will do. Anyways, first up is Cryptojacker, and I'm going to zip it right here. And running it should be pretty easy, I just kind of need to make it executable. And here we go. Huh. Well, it didn't work. I dug a little deeper and it looks like the file is missing something. So unfortunately, this is a case of malware incompatibility with this type of Linux. That's actually kind of funny. Sorry, this malware isn't supported by your operating system. Next up is Lockbit. I'll unzip it here as usual. I actually have confidence this one will work because this piece of ransomware was developed by a credible cybercriminal group called Lockbit. This is the same file type as the previous malware samples, so I'll just use the same command. Well, that was quick. I think this sample actually did its job. Honestly, the whole execution looked professional. Looks like everything was encrypted and I got a little note we can read. Mint is now in fallback mode. Interesting. Let's see this note. You have been attacked by Lockbit 5.0, the fastest, most stable and immortal ransomware since 2019. Hey, they got a pretty good hook, not gonna lie. What is the guarantee that we won't scam you? We are the oldest extortion gang on the planet and nothing is more important to us than our reputation. If we defraud even one client, the other clients will not pay us. In 5 years, not a single client has been left dissatisfied after making a deal with us. Well, I don't know about dissatisfied. I think everyone's going to be dissatisfied that their information is now locked away. But, you know, treat this situation simply as a paid training session for your system administrators. Don't go to the police or the FBI for help. And don't tell anyone that we attacked you. Wait, look at the bottom. Want a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, and lots of titty girls? Sign up and start your pen tester billionaire journey in 5 minutes with us. Well, this is well put together. Props to these guys. They got me a whole tour link to talk to them, but I'm not really interested. I do want that Lamborghini though. Bam! Logbit ruined the last minute install, so let's continue with a fresh one. Next up is the infamous no escape. Unzip this bad boy right here and... what a shame. Looks like this guy needs permissions to do any damage. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Seems like a bunch of payloads executed. I don't know. Alright, brand new Linux Mint install yet again. I got 3 new malware samples, and I will save your time by simply telling you that none of them executed properly. I even tried replicating the config files for these crypto miners. But it is what it is. So what lesson or message can I deliver? Well, at the end of the day, malware on Linux is way rarer than on Windows. There's no single Linux. We know it's split into different distros like Ubuntu, Fedora, Arch, and everyone's running something a little differently. On top of that, Linux is pretty strict about permissions, meaning a random file can't just take over your whole system without extra access. And since way fewer people use Linux on their desktops compared to Windows, hackers just don't bother targeting it as much. There's less payoff. Either way, I can't wait to get back to YouTube Shorts. This is a really short video, but with everything going on, it still took me 3 days to edit. Anyways, thanks for watching and have a good one.